Hello everyone, so today I want to talk about specifically the Summoner. The Summoner is a 1-star character on the character creation thing. However, I want everyone to know that the Summoner, although it is considered a very easy class to play, it's kind of like a jack of all trades, which to me is kind of useful, especially in specific dungeons when you need a fill or you need a specific person to do a special mechanic, etc. So let's take a look at our skills over here. So if you look at here at Sea Shroud, if you press Sea Shroud twice, you can do the Team Stealth, which is actually quite useful. It resists damage and effects for 1.5 seconds, which is really nice. And it also increases your damage of Rumblebees when you're actually invisible. So your first attack with Rumblebees will do extra damage. And it's also a block. So make sure that your 4, it says counters for 2 seconds. So when you hold it like that, there are 2 seconds there, it counts as a block. So you can block orbs from Vortex Temple, you can block orbs in Asura, you can just block and counter with it. It's very important to know that this skill is a block. And you see the cooldown is not very long, lasts for 2 seconds, and it's up in 6 seconds. And then if you press it twice, so you press the block and you press it again, this is the Team Stealth. Especially useful for Xanos when he does his small explosions, and for any other boss, like DT, the last boss on DT. The other stuff that might be interesting is your E over here, so your Beckon. What a lot of people don't know is it breaks from snare status, and it counts as an iframe. It's a 0.5 second iframe. So the moment you call him over, during the effect when you're pulling the little feather thingy, you're actually invincible for that duration. And if you're frozen, like if you're frozen in place or snared in place, you can actually break it as well. But yeah, I just want to let people know that the Summoner, although is a 1-star character, they have a very interesting skill set to help people. For example, when you're dead, you can use your Farewell skill, your F, which actually resurrects your entire party with 100% HP. It sacrifices your cat's life or your familiar's life. However, you do get a team res, which is extremely good. And there's a 10-minute cooldown. However, the 10-minute cooldown can be negated with the gunner's alpha call. So after you use it, if they use an alpha call, you can resurrect again. So I've got a few questions about the summoners, about their ultimate. So everyone knows that the Rumble Queen is very simple. You summon the giant bee and you throw it at the enemy and it explodes and does tons of damage. However, a lot of people have questions about Besties. So if we look here at the skill set, over here it says Besties, when it is activated, it'll last for 4 seconds, and during the time it's activated, you can use party time. So by pressing B, you activate Besties. Then you have to press B again to activate party time. When you activate party time, the cat, wherever your cat is, they're going to jump up and down 3 times. During that, there's an AoE effect of 8 meters where you will actually be dazing the enemy. So every time they land, they'll daze the enemy for 2 seconds. And then, so this is effectively a 6-second daze on the enemy. And while your teammates are in it, if they're within the little circle that I'll show you in a bit, they are able to resist all CCs, which is actually pretty good. So let's use a real case scenario. You're attacking, your cat's over there, and then you want to activate Besties. Let's say that you've got a melee class, like, you've got like a Blade Master over here and like a KFM over here attacking. And then the boss is about to do a AoE attack, maybe like a mid-ranged AoE attack, but since you're ranged, you're back here, so you can't get hit by his AoE, but your KFM and your Blade Master are within range. So what you can tell them is, I'll use my ultimate to help you. So you press B to activate party time, then you'd press B again, and then you'll see, if you're within this 8-meter radius, you're immune to CCs, and the boss will be dazed every time he hopped up and down. And that's all that Besties does. It's not as effective as Rumble Queen. Rumble Queen is, you deal so much more damage and it's more upfront, while Besties and Party Time is a very niche thing to do. It could be useful on certain bosses, just, to help out your melee classes or your tanks or something. Maybe to help in a pinch, but other than that, you wouldn't normally use Besties unless it's to save someone's life or it's an emergency or if it's a special case. Another thing that that's really important is knowing that your cat your familiar can actually do a lot for you. So there are also some hidden skills that aren't really explained well in the game as a summoner. So the first one is helping paw. So for example, if a teammate or yourself die, you can get your cat to res someone. So basically, if it's you, you just hold down the left mouse button and your cat will run towards you and revive you. However, keep in mind, even though your cat has resistance to all status effects, that it does decrease the defense by 100%. So even though he can't get interrupted, and he will keep rezzing even if an enemy hits him, he does take extra damage. The second one that's really important is guard duty over here. So when you're rezzing yourself through chi restoration, hold F, and if you hold F, your familiar will teleport towards you, and he will use guard duty and make you immune to all damage while you're rezzing here. So this is extremely, extremely useful during chi res. Makes you immune to all damage, including DOTs. Another one is over here, Footloose. So when you're rezzing, when you're in chi recovery, and you want to cut down the chi recovery time, you can use your Footloose and it'll reduce it by 6 seconds. And again, this is when you're in chi recovery, you just hold down your left mouse button. So, you know, these 3 skills are extremely, extremely useful. Other than that, there isn't much else. Like, just keep in mind that, you know, Summoner's not a bad class. I quite like Summoner because they're very versatile, they've got a very good skill set, and they can do a lot. They're not as simple as what a lot of people think they are. You know, it's not as mindless as just holding left mouse button, right mouse button. You do have a lot of skills, a really good skill set to handle a lot of different situations. But yeah, I just wanted to let anyone know that if you were planning to play a Summoner, just go ahead. It's a fun class. I quite enjoy it. Anyway, hope this video helped, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
What can I say except you're welcome, for the heels